Today, we're blowing the lid off some of the most persistent fuel myths that are quietly wrecking your engine and draining your wallet. These are the myths your mechanic loves because they keep business booming. But once you know the truth, you'll be saving thousands in unnecessary repairs. Welcome to Built-in Boost, where we break down the hype, cut through the marketing, and give you the real story behind the badge. So buckle in because we're about to bust 15 of the worst fuel myths that way too many drivers still believe. Myth 15. Premium fuel makes every car run better. Let's kick things off with one of the most expensive lies at the pump. You've probably heard someone say, "My car runs smoother on premium." Unless your engine specifically requires high-octane fuel, you're wasting money. Premium fuel isn't a performance boost in a bottle. It's designed for high-compression engines to prevent knock, not to make your minivan faster. If your owner's manual calls for regular 87 octane, that's exactly what your engine was engineered to use. You're not upgrading your car, you're just tipping the oil companies. Myth 14. Turning off the AC saves big on gas. It sounds logical, ditch the AC, save fuel. But in most real-world situations, it's just not true. At city speeds, sure, rolling down the windows might help a tiny bit. But once you're on the highway, open windows create aerodynamic drag, and that can hurt your fuel economy more than the AC. Modern air conditioning systems are incredibly efficient. We're talking a 1 to 3% impact on mileage at most. So go ahead, stay cool. You're not blowing your fuel budget by using the AC anymore. Myth 13. All gas stations use the same quality fuel. The base fuel may come from similar refineries, but the additives, they matter. Top-tier stations add extra detergents that help keep your engine clean. Over time, those additives can prevent carbon buildup, reduce wear, and even maintain fuel economy. Brands like Toyota, Honda, and BMW recommend top-tier fuel for a reason. And no, that doesn't mean buying the most expensive gas. Just look for the top-tier certification. A few extra cents now can prevent hundreds in repair costs later. Myth 12. Running on empty doesn't hurt anything. You've probably let your tank hit E more times than you'd like to admit. But here's the problem. Your fuel pump is cooled by the gasoline in your tank. Letting the level drop too low too often can overheat the pump and shorten its life. There's also the issue of sediment settling at the bottom of your tank. Run too low, and you risk pulling that gunk into your fuel system. Once or twice in an emergency is fine. But if you're making a habit of driving on fumes, you're risking expensive damage for zero benefit. Myth 11. Fill up in the morning to get more gas. The myth goes like this. Cooler fuel is denser, so if you pump early in the morning, you'll get more for your money. But fuel is stored underground where the temperature barely changes. It doesn't matter if it's 5 a.m. or 5 p.m., the density of the gas is virtually the same, and modern stations compensate for any tiny variations with temperature-correcting equipment. You might save a penny over 200 fill-ups, but you'll waste far more time than it's worth. Myth 10. Fuel additives dramatically boost MPG. There's an entire aisle of miracle bottles at your local parts store claiming to clean your engine, boost your mileage, and unlock hidden horsepower. Most of them do absolutely nothing noticeable. Some reputable brands like Techron can help maintain cleanliness over time, but don't expect overnight transformation. Others use metallic compounds that can actually damage sensors and emissions equipment. Your best fuel economy booster. Regular maintenance and smooth driving, not snake oil in a bottle. Myth 9. Topping off after the pump clicks gets you more gas. You're not squeezing a bonus pint into your tank. You're either feeding it into the vapor recovery system or worse, flooding the evaporative emissions system. That can lead to a soaked charcoal canister, a pricey repair for something that should never happen. Once the pump clicks off, you're full. Anything beyond that is a waste of fuel and a risk to your car's systems. That extra 50 cents isn't saving you, it's setting you up for a costly visit to the shop. Myth 8. Manuals always get better. Gas mileage. This one might have been true back in the days of 3-speed automatics. Not anymore. Today's automatics, especially the multi-speed and CVT models, are engineered for optimal fuel efficiency. They shift smoother, faster, and at precisely the right RPMs. EPA estimates show that automatics often beat their manual counterparts by several mpg. Unless you're driving something vintage or performance-focused, the stick shift isn't saving you money. It's just giving your clutch leg a workout. Myth 7. You need to warm up your car before driving. If your vehicle has fuel injection, and it does unless it's a museum piece, warming it up for 5 minutes is just burning fuel unnecessarily. Modern engines adjust automatically to temperature and warm up faster when driven gently. Idling only wastes gas and creates pollution. Plus, fuel can wash away oil on cold cylinder walls, increasing wear. A 30-second warm-up is plenty. After that, just drive easy until things come up to temperature. Myth 6. Cruise control always saves fuel. Cruise control can help maintain steady speeds, but it doesn't think like a human. On hilly roads, it's notorious for overcompensating dumping fuel to maintain speed uphill and ignoring momentum on the downhill. A thoughtful driver who anticipates terrain and adjusts speed gradually will often get better fuel economy than cruise control. The one exception: adaptive systems on newer cars that can read the road ahead. But even then, a smart human still does it better. Myth 5. Aftermarket fuel-saving devices actually work. If a $20 magnet on your fuel line could boost mileage by 20%, automakers would be using it already. But they're not, because it doesn't work. These gadgets often rely on pseudoscience and clever marketing to push products that violate basic physics. Whether it's a vortex generator, fuel ionizer, or hydrogen booster, they're all nonsense. Save your money. Real fuel savings come from routine maintenance and smart driving, not gadgets that belong on a late-night infomercial. Myth 4. Coasting in neutral saves fuel. This one sounds logical until you understand how modern engines work. When you coast in gear with your foot off the gas, your fuel injectors actually shut off completely. But if you're in neutral, the engine still needs fuel to idle. Not only is this myth costing you fuel, it's also dangerous, and in some states, illegal. You lose the ability to respond quickly in an emergency and reduce your control over the vehicle. There's nothing clever about trading safety for imaginary savings. Myth 3. E85 is just watered-down gasoline. E85 does get fewer miles per gallon than standard gas. That's because ethanol has less energy per gallon, not because it's low quality. Flex fuel vehicles are specifically built to run on it, and the higher octane rating of ethanol actually allows for more aggressive tuning and more power in the right setup. It's not a downgrade. It's a different fuel with different advantages, especially when price per gallon is factored in. And race cars? Many of them run ethanol blends for performance. Myth 2. Changing oil every 3,000 miles is mandatory. This one just won't die. The 3,000-mile rule is outdated and completely unnecessary for most modern engines using synthetic oil. Automakers and oil companies recommend intervals closer to 7,500 to 10,000 miles. Quick lube shops love the 3,000-mile myth. It keeps you coming back and keeps them raking in cash. But all you're doing is wasting money and generating more waste oil than needed. Trust your owner's manual, not the sticker on your windshield. Myth 1. Premium gas cleans your engine or fixes problems. This is the most profitable myth for gas stations. Premium gas doesn't clean your engine better. It doesn't fix rough idles or make your car run smoother. All pump grades use the same detergents, and unless your vehicle specifically calls for premium, you gain nothing by using it. Your engine won't magically heal because you paid 60 cents more per gallon. If you've got a rough idle or check engine light, spend that money on a diagnostic scan. Don't treat premium like a miracle cure. It's not. There you have it. 15 fuel myths that are quietly wrecking engines and wallets across the country. Which one caught you off guard? Which one have you been following for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what surprised you most. And if you got value from today's breakdown, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Built-in Boost. We've got more truth-packed automotive content on the way that helps you drive smarter, save money, and avoid the scams. Until next time, keep your tank full and your BS meter on high.